Welcome to Unsung Heroes with Johnny, Daniel, James, and Sam. Our goal is to leave no hero unsung. Welcome to the Unsung Heroes podcast. I'm Johnny, and I'm joined with some friends. We have James.
Hello.
We have Samuel.
Hello.
And we have Daniel.
Dan man.
Wow, he has his own intro music.
Can I get my own intro music? What is this?
Well,
After our initial intro, we have another intro just for Daniel.
I'm Dan man. Where's Rachel? Where's Rachel?
thank you for joining us today on this episode of the podcast. Today we have Sam here to present to us. Sam, who are you going to be doing?
We are going to be talking about a really interesting guy. His name is Joshua Abraham Norton. And just to give you a little sneak peek about this guy, his full name that he liked to be called was Emperor Norton I, Emperor of the United States, and Protector of Mexico.
This is the guy who invented the Norton antivirus.
The
software.
antivirus guy, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got to be.
We were talking about that before the episode started because none of us knew who this person was. But now that you mentioned Emperor of America,
Emperor of America.
I've heard something about this. This sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Oh, wait, isn't this the guy in California, the hobo dude?
This is the very same. Yes, this is the United States. Actually, you should get bonus points for that because that's pretty impressive.
Hey! All right, guys, hold on. Let me put that down. Okay, so that puts me at about 100 points in front of everyone.
100
Oh
points.
my
I didn't say
gosh.
I'd give you 100 points.
Who's
Okay.
keeping track of this?
Okay,
am.
for any new listeners who might be confused, we don't have a point system.
We
They're just
don't.
making this up as they go
Not
along.
until now.
Maybe we should though.
Well, how are we going to...
Well, guys, we tried this at the Vivian Thomas episode, but
We did, didn't we?
none of y'all went with it, so...
Is this like whose line is it anyway, where it's like the points don't matter and you just make it up?
Everything's made up
yeah.
and the
Yeah,
points don't
yeah.
matter. Is that right?
Cool. Well, Samuel, so this guy is from California. What is he kind of known for in a snippet then?
Well, he's really, I don't know. He is known for a lot of different things. He's just kind of an eccentric man who basically, to kind of give you a summary of his life, he is a man who moved to the United States and became the first and only emperor of the United States, kind of as a title he gave himself. So this basically is a story about how he kind of won over a community. It's a really just fascinating story. He's just an odd guy and really kind of follows in, I don't know, just kind of some of the odder people that we've talked about on this show. He's probably one of the oddest ones. So,
You know, I'm surprised you would call a self-proclaimed emperor eccentric. You know, I don't.
yeah.
Wow. So I'm very curious about this. Was his self-proclaimed emperorship in jest, or was it like a serious thing for him?
You know, that's a really good question, and I think we could have some discussions about the interpretation of his decisions, because I kind of lean towards he was just kind of losing his mind, but there are some people who have made the argument that he really wasn't losing his mind, that he was completely sane while he was doing all these things.
Wow.
But
Interesting.
we shall see. We'll have to have a good discussion about that later on.
Yeah, so what kind of time period was this all in?
So basically, just to kind of let you know what this is, the setting for his life. Basically, Norton was born in 1819 in Great Britain, but he spent most of his early childhood. He didn't spend it in the United States. He actually spent it in South Africa. So we get some representation here.
All right. That's more Australian, actually.
Crocky.
Johnny, yeah, what's up with
Crikey, that's not South African.
Once again, we're like mixing our countries and
yes, we
accents.
are.
Yes, you've got to have a very nice South African accent.
Very nice.
That's cheating, dude. You grew up with South African parents, man.
That's true.
I know.
They aren't Afrikaans, so...
Okay.
The only thing I
Afrikaans
can
accent.
say in that accent is the name of the country, South Africa. I can't say anything else.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's all you need to
But-
say, man.
Yeah.
That's all you need, really.
Oh my
Yeah, so he spent his childhood in South Africa, and we don't really know much about his early life, but in 1849, so this would have been 30 years later, doing the math right now. So he moves to San Francisco, which San Francisco in 1849, this is during the time of the gold rush. So a lot of people are moving to the Bay Area, to California to make a profit. And Norton, actually, he succeeds in doing this. He did a really good job of just moving in, settling into San Francisco, and he turned a huge profit doing real estate. So he spends a few years there, and he starts to become a significantly wealthy man. But it doesn't last for him. In 1843, unfortunately, because of some trade policies that were going on in China, San Francisco experienced a rice shortage, and seeking to capitalize off of that issue that was going on, Norton decided that he was going to invest pretty much all of his money into getting rice from Peru, and so he tried to monopolize this market. But the problem was, within a few months of taking all of his money and investing it in this market, more people kind of got the same idea in different locations, and so all of the rice started pouring back into San Francisco. And what happens when all of the rice pours back in? All of the price of rice just drops significantly.
Man.
So basically, he just loses all of his money just because he made a bad investment into
That's
all
why
of
you
his
gotta
money.
diversify your portfolios, people.
Yeah, man. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Buy wheat, buy potatoes. Don't just buy rice.
You have a whole filling dish,
Yeah.
Not just
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just serve the whole buffet.
Yep.
But so during this time, 1853, he's lost pretty much all of his money. And from this point, for about 4 or 5 years, he's really gone off the radar. We don't hear much from him. We don't know what's going on. Some people think he leaves the city. Some people think he just kind of stays and goes underground. He really, he just kind of lays low. We don't really know much about what's going on there. But in 1859, in September, Norton reemerges. And he reemerges in probably the most fantastic way you could ever think of, because this is what he does. He marches up to the office of the San Francisco Daily Bulletin, which is a newspaper during this time, and he hands the person in the office, he hands them this little paper, and this is what it says. Let me just read it for you guys. It says, "At the peremptory request and desire of a large majority of the citizens of these United States, I, Joshua Norton, declare and proclaim myself Emperor of these United States. Signed, Emperor Norton the First, Emperor of the United States."
You're telling me you can just walk up and declare yourself emperor? Why haven't I done this earlier?
Did he cross the Rubicon first?
He didn't say it; he declared it. That's what was going on.
Wow.
I'm also confused why he did it to like a newspaper and not like the government.
Hey, I mean, if you want people to rally behind you, you got to get it out there, right?
That's true.
Yeah, he knows the power of media right there.
He really does, because this is the surprising thing. Instead of ignoring him, the newspaper, I guess they had an off day in their news cycle. They decided to publish the statement in the newspaper without putting any comments in it. They just let it out to the public.
The senior editor must have been like, this is hilarious. Put it out there. Let's just see what happens.
I think this is the start of I don't know, either memes or fake news. I can't
Probably
tell.
clickbait,
Yeah, that's it.
Newspapers hate this man.
Politicians hate him.
I want J.K. Simmons to play the editor that this guy approched.
Yeah, exactly.
I know,
yeah.
seriously.
I want more pictures of Emperor Norton.
But yes, so he does manage to get that little announcement to the world published for everybody to read. And so everybody picks up the newspaper the next day, and they suddenly notice that there's a guy who's declaring himself emperor. Now, the funny thing is, the public obviously is going to start taking notice of this. And especially within the next few weeks, a general catches his attention, and the general comes up to him and basically is like, hey, are you the guy who's trying to become emperor? I'm kind of playing off this a little bit. But after a little bit of a conversation, the general decides to give him a uniform. And so
Oh, no.
he starts walking and marching around the city in this imperial uniform and definitely starts to catch the attention of the rest of the city.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, this is how it begins.
I love how people are just feeding his desire
know.
to be. Oh, you want to be emperor? Okay then. Oh my gosh.
Is this wait? So this general who gave him the uniform, was he like kind of just messing with him, like wanting to joke around and give it to him, or was he like, "You are my emperor. Here is your coat.
I think the former is probably more likely, but Samuel probably knows.
I pledge my allegiance to you."
I don't know. You'll see this as a common thing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you see this as a common occurrence throughout his life.
Wow.
And yeah, it just gets better from here. Yeah, so he's wearing this uniform now. He's going around the city. Next month, the San Francisco Bulletin, once again, he's chosen this bulletin to kind of announce his proclamations to the public of San Francisco.
Oh my goodness.
And he gives another proclamation. This is what it says. Fraud and corruption prevent a fair and proper expression of the public voice, in consequence of which we do hereby abolish Congress.
let me guess. Congress goes, all right, okay. Well, so,
All right, guys, let's pack it up. Let's go
You see
home.
all of the politicians in DC, they just look at the newspaper. They're like, you know what, guys? I think our time is up.
it's been a good run, guys.
It's like, what's it been? 100 years? You got some good times.
Oh my gosh.
But I think our time is done.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. Like the next summer, 1860, they're at the brink of civil war. The United States is about to break into war. And Emperor Norton, he decides he's going to run another proclamation to dissolve the Union. And he made himself the absolute monarch, which when I read that, I kind of was confused because I thought he had already done that. But apparently this was like solidifying it, that he is now officially the monarch of the United States of America.
We'll see. He dissolved the Union.
Yeah.
So he was, I guess in a sense, declaring himself above the petty conflicts of the Civil War. Is that kind of what he's
Exactly.
saying here? I
and
see.
and despite this kind of very odd amount of statements, he really did want there to be kind of peace and unity. And you notice that throughout the rest of his life, he's really, like, despite how he's going about this, he really does want to bring out a good change. And so I think for him, this is just kind of how he wanted to bring about the unity that a lot of people were hoping for.
So Samuel, again, I don't know how much people have looked into this, but do historians debate whether or not this was, like some kind of manic episode that he was just kind of filled with illusions of grandeur, or do people actually think maybe he was providing some kind of satirical commentary? And maybe did the newspaper pick up on this? Is that why they were even publishing these things?
Like that. What's that newspaper thing or the booklet that was released in England about eating kids or
Oh,
whatever?
the satire.
Yeah,
Oh,
the first
yeah,
famous
yeah.
satire. Yeah.
Jonathan Swift.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is it called?
That is called, what is it called?
A something proposal?
A modest proposal.
A modest
A
proposal.
modest proposal.
Yep.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so the newspapers, I don't think they were necessarily doing that because this was satire or anything, or because, I mean, he was living this day in and day out.
Wow.
Now, historians really have debated how sane he was. And I'm interested to hear from you guys as we go on. Like, do you think this guy is sane, or do you guys think he's just out of his mind? Because I think you could make an argument that he did kind of have some understanding of reality, and maybe he was just going along with this.
I mean,
but
his writing's somewhat eloquent, I would say. And I'm reminded of that guy. There's a current guy right now who I think runs every election, like Supreme Vermin Leader or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
This guy who wears a boot on his head.
Oh yes.
And I think his is more of a satirical thing, but hey, he's probably a little bit, odd as well, perhaps. So,
I feel like you have to have a level of insanity to attempt such a thing,
yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go so far as to say that he is just actually insane or anything, but I definitely think at the very least he's extremely eccentric.
Yeah.
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 But at the most, he's out of his mind completely. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
So what happens next, Samuel?
Well, so we go a few years later in 1863. He's continuing to keep this up. And during this time, the French, so Napoleon III, decided to invade Mexico. So in an act of international diplomacy, Emperor Norton decided to add the name Protector of Mexico to his official title.
Please tell me New Mexico was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Sure. I don't know if they ever heard about this, but I'm sure if they did, they would be like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
So now his official name is Norton I, Emperor of the United States, Protector of Mexico.
I love that he's adding that title. I feel like monarchs in the past haven't had the name Protector as frequently.
Yeah, I know.
So it's interesting that that's like, no, I'm not the Emperor of Mexico. I'm the Protector of Mexico.
It's like
I'm merely protecting them.
So like Mexico's is a vassal state, kind of, I guess. Like they're like a subsidiary. It's really funny.
Yeah.
So does he end up?
Yeah, they're not paying taxes to him, but they're gonna pay for the wall.
That's right. Ding, ding, ding. Anyway,
Jakes.
so I knowing the spoilers on the Napoleon III thing a little bit, I'm assuming he doesn't end up dissuading Napoleon III.
No, he doesn't even go to Mexico.
Okay.
No. Sorry to anybody who was really excited about that battle
Some
scene.
protector.
Yeah, come on.
He was just, I don't know. Maybe he was just virtue signaling or something.
They're about to land on Mexico, and they're like, "Did you hear? The emperor has protecting Mexico.
You cards!
Your carrier."
Where is the Protector of Mexico?
Where is
the
he?
coward?
Throwback to the other episode, man. Oh my god.
Oh, man. Oh, okay.
I love how our Frenchmen are always like very worked up. They're always like super worked up.
They're really passionate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're ready to fight.
He's the protector of Mexico, and
Yes.
Does it?
Yes, he is.
Did the newspapers publish this as well? Do you know if they're like?
Oh, they did. Oh, man. They've been following this guy. Like, they would publish. Oh, he goes for about 20 years doing this until basically the day he dies. And
20 years.
And he's publishing things all the time. And I mean, if you're a newspaper, at least if I was working in a newspaper industry, I think I wouldn't get enough of it. Like, there's just so much interesting content going on with this. So he over the next several years, he just keeps publishing different proclamations. And some of them actually are kind of thoughtful and almost even prophetic. I'll read you a few of these in just a second. Some of them are, once again, just kind of ridiculous, but he does things, for example, like he made a proclamation of a few years after the Protector of Mexico name dubbing. He basically made a proclamation where he asked for countries to form together in a way that would look very similar eventually to the League of Nations. So he's basically like ahead of his time, saying, you know what, all the countries should come together and kind of form this, I don't know, this sense of unity, this type of truce in some sense. Another example of this is he called for the fair treatment of ethnic minorities, which during this day would have been, unfortunately, a very rare occurrence at times. And he called for women's rights to vote. That was another one of his proclamations that he made in the paper.
What year is this?
He's like, wait, vote for who? You're the emperor.
See, that makes me think maybe it is satirical, right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
What year was this that he wrote these things, Samuel? Do you
This
know?
is in the 1860s.
Okay, so wow,
Yeah.
that's women's suffrage was what 1920.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1920.
1910,
So
1920s.
that's wow. That's
So it's a way ahead early in his time. Of course, he does go on the other end of the spectrum. And this one isn't necessarily quite as verified as the other ones. But apparently, in one of his proclamations, he called for a $25 fine for anyone who called San Francisco Frisco, just by the nickname Frisco.
oops.
So, so if you hear that, you will be you'll be getting $25 out of your wallet.
Yikes.
So
I better go pay that real quick because I'm
Yeah.
sure I've called it Frisco in my life. He must have really not it's one of those things where, people ever ask the question like, what would you do if you were absolute dictator of the world? And people have
Yeah.
these kind of funny jokes. I think for him it was like really getting on his nerves. People called it Frisco, and he's like, I would ban Frisco.
I would ban it.
Yeah.
But so he does kind of go on both ends of the spectrum. One more interesting one. Of course, he made several proclamations. One of the most interesting ones, though, in my mind, and honestly, one of the most prophetic ones, was he made a proclamation that a bridge should be made connecting San Francisco and Oakland. The two cities are right near each other.
Huh.
And about 50 years later, the Bay Bridge was made. The bridge that was connecting San Francisco and Oakland was actually made.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were just following his orders.
Exactly. So they,
I feel like a really revisionist history could be written right now.
I know.
I know, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite is the League of Nations, obviously.
Yeah. But this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but apparently there are several groups that have been going around trying to rename the bridge after Emperor Norton.
Oh, dude,
Really?
I will sign that petition.
I would sign that too.
I
do
will
it.
sign that.
That's amazing.
Link this podcast in that petition. Let them know.
I know, seriously. So those are a few of his proclamations that he made. Before I keep going with this, I'm interested to know, what do you guys think the public is doing? Like, how are they reacting to this guy? How would you react to this guy?
They are
if you saw
eating
this?
it up.
You think so?
I honestly, I would think of him as kind of this. Well, okay, it depends. I feel like today some people might take it way too seriously and call for him to be arrested or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, depending on how serious he is about it. But I feel like me personally, I would just think it's one big romp and a riot, and I would think it's hilarious.
Right.
And I'd want to be just reading about all these proclamations he's making.
Yeah.
I just imagine every day you wake up, you go on the front page of Reddit, and there's more Emperor Norton did this.
Emperor Norton, there he is.
Proclaimed this.
Yeah. No, honestly, when I was reading this, that seems to be the general impression I'm getting, that most people are kind of following in that footsteps, that they're just eating this up, that this is like the first thing that they do when they check the news each morning is looking at what Emperor Norton has done that day.
Wow. So does he become kind of like a local celebrity because of that?
Oh man, that's exactly what he becomes.
Wow.
So to show you the progression of how important this guy becomes to San Francisco. So it starts off when he's first starting to make grounds in San Francisco and kind of promoting his emperorship. People quickly recognize him. I mean, he's very easy to spot in his outfit, but people start to come up to him on the street and they start to like begin to bow to him whenever he's passing by. And remember, he was still broke at this time. He didn't have any money. He'd lost it all. So others who kind of recognized that he was broke, really didn't have much to live off of, they would start giving him money and they would start saying they were paying taxes to him.
This guy is in the long con, dude. He's
seriously.
Oh, man.
brilliant.
So as he continues to publish these proclamations, as these decrees in the newspaper, people start to like see him as a local celebrity. Like shops in San Francisco start to sell pictures and figurines of him as souvenirs, and then as well, like theaters begin to like reserve the best seats for him in opening nights just because he's the emperor and everybody loves the emperor.
Oh my gosh, that's the best, dude. Are you kidding me? I would love that if you're like declare yourself emperor and now all of a sudden you have like front row seats on every show.
The equivalent
Exactly.
today, like, it's like, Patreon is a website where you can have patrons, pay you monthly if you're creating content or creating something. It's like today the emperor would have a Patreon.
Yeah,
people are just
yeah.
Yes,
giving
exactly.
him money.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that he just walks up and says he's emperor. And
this is what happens.
now he's dude. The free seat in the theater is what gets me, man.
That's great.
Those seats are expensive.
It's
too.
not only at the theater, like he's starting to eat free at many of San Francisco's restaurants. In exchange, what Norton the First would do is he would give the restaurants the right to post an imperial seal of approval. And it would just say, like, by appointment to His Imperial Majesty Norton the First. They would just put a little sign out in the window.
It's like one of those Yelp check marks, that you get
Exactly.
by your restaurant.
He was so ahead of his time because this is literally what like an influencer / Patreon person would do these days.
Yeah, that's
Exactly,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
So
Wow.
He's got his little Norton seal of approval in the window of every shop he goes into at this point.
I like to imagine it's like him giving like a thumbs up and a wink.
Yeah.
He starts like a new column in the newspaper called Norton's Review or something.
Yeah.
Another really funny thing, the local directory started actually giving him the name Emperor, as well as in the census that happened in, I believe it was 1870. They actually listed his name as Emperor Norton the First.
That's amazing.
But they also did happen to mention that he was insane, but that was kind of beside the point.
Wow.
And then the best part about this, and I think this is the part that really captures how much the city had fallen in love with him. So in 1867, there was a police officer who had basically just gotten fed up with Norton. And he was just tired of seeing him wandering around. Once again, he's really just kind of, I mean, he's basically almost homeless at this point. And he arrests Norton the First for vagrancy. So the police officer takes him into prison for a few days. And the next day, the arrest was published in the newspapers throughout the city, and the whole city became outraged.
Wow.
Wow.
So let me just read. There are two quotes from a newspaper that I would just want to read, just to give you kind of a sense of like how fed up people were with this police officer, and just that they would even have the audacity to arrest this man. This is what the first one says. It says, "In what can only be described as the most dastardly of errors, Joshua A. Norton was arrested today. He's being held on the ludicrous charge of lunacy. Known and loved by all true San Franciscans as Emperor Norton, this kindly monarch of Montgomery Street is less a lunatic than those who have engineered these trumped-up charges. As they will learn, His Majesty's loyal subjects are fully appraised of this outrage."
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This is like a major inside joke. The whole city's
I know.
Exactly.
It's so great.
Which again, it's like, oh, why are they making fun of this guy? Well, at the same time, he's getting treated pretty nicely by the people, it seems like,
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
really interesting. How
Yeah.
That's crazy. You can't even get arrested. He's untouchable, man.
He really can't be. And this is another one. I read this quote from the newspaper, and it just threw me off how, I don't know, how on point it is. Let me read it to you. It says, "Norton was in his day a respectable merchant, and since he has worn the imperial purple, he has shed no blood, robbed nobody, and despoiled the country of no one, which is more than can be said of any of his fellows in that line."
Wow.
5-star review. Wow.
Which seriously, like, I mean, he kind of has a point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is the funniest thing.
that's really great.
But so basically, the police force, they see what's going on, and the chief of police recognizes who this guy is, and immediately is like, "Hey, we have to let this guy go. He really isn't a vagrant. He's our emperor." So
Let him go. He's our emperor.
He's our emperor. You can't arrest him.
he comes back. He's like, well, who did you say you just put away? That's the emperor, man.
and the funniest part about this, though, and oh my gosh, what's just so funny, this whole city's gotten wrapped up in it. From that point on, all of the police officers begin to salute him anytime he passes by.
Dude.
Phenomenal.
So
Oh my goodness.
Has somebody made a movie about this? I mean, there's so many great movie
I don't
tropes
know.
that we've been putting
Yeah.
into this right now. I
Yeah.
mean, this is hilarious. Wow.
But I don't know. He's just such an interesting figure because he really, I don't know. He becomes basically like the city's mascot, like the person that everybody can cheer for, even though he really has nothing to his name. He has, I don't know. All that he has going for him at this point is he thinks he's an emperor, and everybody just loves to play along with it. And it's just such a, I don't know. It's just such a positive, like, a tribute to San Francisco at this time.
Wow. That's really funny.
Yeah, I can't imagine it going over that well today, Like if
No,
somebody
I don't
did
think
this.
so. Probably not.
Yeah, we're too like social media and all this kind of stuff is just
Yeah,
too,
I feel like with the internet, it would become a national thing.
and that's never a good thing.
And then
And yeah,
then,
when it becomes like it seems so much like a local, just like inside joke, like you guys were saying. Like this is like a part of their local culture, and just being able to celebrate this guy. If it spread throughout the United States, I think it would have ruined the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Unless like
Because then everybody's like, Congress doesn't
who was
rule
who was
me.
president? Who was president at the time? Was it like Coolidge or somebody? I don't remember exactly, but the
In the
president would like.
1860s, it would have been Lincoln and
This is okay. It's still in
Grant.
the 1860s. Yeah, yeah. So Lincoln calls
I
him
feel
into the
like
office.
I feel like Lincoln would have gone along with it.
Probably would have.
Yeah.
Calls him into the White House and pledges allegiance or something crazy like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what goes on for the rest of his life. Like I said before, he does this for about 20 years, just kind of going around. He would meet at different places. He would actually speak at local, like political events that are going on. He would basically just became the mascot for the city. And in 1880, so he's at the beginning of the year, Norton the First, he died of a stroke, unfortunately. And this is the craziest thing to me. His funeral was attended by 10,000 people.
Oh my goodness.
He was just left for. He did it for that long.
Yeah.
That's
He kept it up. He kept it going for about 20 years. And by the end of it, like, there was a little thing that I read. It said that when he died, the newspaper published, like, in big headlines, "The king is dead."
Oh
man.
And in like his epigraph on his tombstone, it said, like, "Here lies Norton the First, Emperor of the United States of America," and it didn't even put it in quotation marks.
Wow.
Just like, "This is the Emperor of the United States."
Well, little known fact, when Nietzsche said God is dead, a lot of people think he's talking about, God, but he's actually talking about Emperor Norton.
He's just like,
It's
he's
his
dead.
eulogy.
How do we move on?
But
Wow.
he eventually goes on. He becomes an inspiration for a bunch of novelists, including Mark Twain, because Mark Twain was actually living in San Francisco whenever Norton was first starting to
That's great.
to come
Wow,
up.
imagine being a famous author at this time, and you have this,
All this material.
all this material.
so much material.
Just, oh man, ripe with good quality, free stuff right there. Wow.
Yeah. So that is the life of our Emperor Norton the First, Emperor of the United States, protector of Mexico.
What a crazy story, man. I feel like it's a piece of history that probably was very well known at a time, but I feel like it's just totally lost for many people.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think the thing about this guy that I really just enjoy about him is he's not necessarily one of these heroes that saved a bunch of lives, but like if you were living at San Francisco during this time, I feel like your day would just be a little bit better when you saw him coming around or when you saw his proclamation in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
fun.
true. I mean, I would definitely look forward to like, oh, what's his proclamation now?
Yeah. I mean, he's not like enforcing anything, right? All you get
No.
taxes is voluntary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he does is write neat pieces in the newspaper.
I mean, he is saying he is saying stuff like Congress isn't a thing.
and if there's
no
anything
one-
Americans love, it's bashing the government. So I mean, hey,
Well,
he's,
yeah.
yeah.
I just love like opening a newspaper and be like, ha ha ha, a bridge from San Francisco to Oakland, hilarious.
That'll never happen. Norton. Oh, Norton.
Oh, Norton.
Man, thanks for sharing that, Samuel.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Definitely.
All right, well, we can go ahead and sing a song about Emperor Norton the First. So James has been writing a couple of stanzas here. I think I'm going to go ahead and rap these.
All right.
I think.
I'll get a beat going. Let's do this.
All right, kick it off. Emperor Norton of the USA lived in South Africa but didn't stay. Went into hiding selling rice from Peru, now declaring to the world that he rules over you. Dissolving Congress and his fame and power grow. Gonna stop the French protector of Mexico, banning all the plebs from calling it Frisco, telling off Napoleon that he's gotta go.
Long live the Emperor, Joshua Norton. Long live the Emperor, Norton the First. Norton the First.
Wow.
Wow.
Frisco.
Don't say it!
Oh,
triggered.
no.
Wow.
And that's $50.
Yep. All right.
Wow. Well, thanks so much, Sam. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Cool. Definitely.
All right. Anything else to add, guys?
Well, I think it's about time for America to officially recognize their emperor. I think
true.
there should be some kind of monument in Washington. Just kind
Yeah,
of a little
there
plaque
should be.
somewhere, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
Like right next to Abraham Lincoln, like a little smaller,
Yeah.
a little
Right
smaller
next to-
statue.
No, I'm thinking like a monument, like next to Lincoln's monument. That's a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah. you know the Washington Monument. Let's just make another taller one.
yeah. That's fitting.
No, yeah.
Cool.
So just a little tip to any of our listeners out there: if you want to be emperor, just go down to your local news outlet and say you're the emperor, and then boom, there you go.
There you go.
That's it.
Profit.
Yep. Step 4, profit. Yep. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Stay Frisco.
Bye bye.